Shaken, not stirred. So we're looking at a very iconic vehicle here today. It's from Aston Martin. It's called the DB5, David Brown 5, and it was made famous from James Bond. The movie Goldfinger in the 1960s showcased this car, and it's been an iconic movie car ever since then. The DB5 was produced between 1963 and 1965, and they made over 1,000 of them. And it's a 2+2 seater GT Grand Tourer, and it has a 4-liter aluminum engine, an inline 6-cylinder up front, and it made between 280 and 325 horsepower. What's interesting about this design is it has two fuel tanks. There's a fuel filler door on each of the C-pillars, and it had a magnesium body. Magnesium is lighter than aluminum, if you don't know your periodic table, but it does also catch on fire in small shavings. But anyway, so that's really interesting. You don't see many magnesium-bodied vehicles, so that's part of the reason why it's very expensive back then and super expensive these days. Now, this is a Kyosho model. It's made by Kyosho. It's supposed to be 1/64 scale. So I managed to find this at a pawn shop kind of store, but it's damaged. But it was cheap, so this is going to be like maybe a repair job, or we're going to see if I can repair it. But before so, let's take a look at the model a little bit more here. It didn't even have packaging. It just came in a plastic bag, really. Okay, so this is a problem. I don't know if someone glued this down. In fact, let me get better light on this so we can try to figure out what this problem is. It's not coming off the base even though I unscrewed it. You'll notice the tires are sunk in. They're literally sunk into the plastic base. So I'm not sure if there's a chemical reaction, because I did find that with one of my older Kyoshos, Lamborghini. Alright, well, let's just continue the review while it's on the base, because I don't want to tear the tires. I'm not sure what the deal is. Alright, so anyways, we got some chrome print around the window frame, and so here's the window is really cloudy. It's messed up, and this is the biggest problem here. It's actually caved in. So I'm going to have to try to get this off the base, and most Kyoshos are screwed together, so I'm going to try to unscrew it and polish these windows out. And also, look at this roof. It's messed up there. A little peel as well. So I'm going to have to try to polish that out as well. So I'm literally trying to restore a model of an Aston Martin DB5. It's weird. Okay, but it's got to be done. Nice wire wheels. Pretty neat, actually. And it actually looks like there's air going between these spokes, which is kind of insane. I mean, those are tiny spokes. There's like, can you see the dimensionality there? I don't know if it's a black graphic or what. I'm trying to see if I can see the pic behind it. Okay, well, alright. Let's go around. Here's that fuel filler cap here. One of them. There's one on the other side as well, I imagine. We have some taillights, but they look like they're just painted on because they're pretty small. Let me see. Yeah, that's paint. It's not separate plastic pieces. The Aston Martin logo there is nice, though. It does seem to be more than just an outline. It's like two colors, black and silver, and it looks like there's supposed to be text there, so that's good. And while we're at it, you can see the chrome bumper is a separate plastic piece, so that's good. A little orange peel there, though. So I'm not sure when this series of British cars came out by Kyosho, but I'm sure it was over 10 years ago. Okay, so chrome paint again. Nothing too bad here, I guess. What is this? Yeah, that is physical. Might be a contaminant in the paint. Alright, let's go around to the front. Okay, so the grill, I don't know, it seems like it's falling out right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to push that back in. Seems like a piece is missing here from when it pulled off the sprue. But the logo there looks pretty good. Hopefully you can focus there, camera. Oh, this is good, it's gonna get. And then we have the plastic lenses for the headlights. And because it looks like there's a bulb in there because part of the plastic is going into the body there in a circular shape, kind of, sort of. These are painted on turn signals, and then we have the separate plastic piece here again. Okay, well, power bulge. It's kind of, it's not a red color. The camera might show it as red, but it's more, it's a dark red for sure. It's a darker than usual. It's not a Ferrari red. It's a dark burgundy kind of thing. Well, it's not as dark as burgundy either. somewhere in between burgundy and regular Ferrari red. Okay, so painted silver here on the windshield wiper blades and that molding, and then the interior, unfortunately, especially with these cloudy windows. So I'm not sure how much of this damage is from Kyosho, or if like maybe the previous owner tried to modify it and screwed it all up. Okay guys, I'm back, and I actually learned quite a bit about the restoration process of 64 scale diecast cars. So first I'll start off with some of the things I used. First I got it off the stand, and it turns out, I'm not sure if this helped or not, but what I did is I sprayed this Meguiar stuff, vinyl and rubber stuff, where the tires meet the base, and I just let it soak there for a while. But you'll see there are actually no marks. Like, the tires didn't actually sink into the rubber, so you can see some squares though where the rubber was. But to get it off the base, I then took my thumb and I just pressed against the tire so it would like flex this plastic, and that helped out. And maybe this stuff helped lube it, I'm not sure, but I did get it off the stand first. And then it turns out this Kyosho is actually riveted together. So I guess some of them are screwed, some are riveted, so I had to drill out the rivet things, so the rivet marks, of course, and then I tore it apart. So here you can see the tire flats here. Hopefully those will rebound out to become circular again, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Okay, now the main thing is, if you go back in the earlier part of the video, the windows are really messed up, like really foggy. So I just want to inform you guys, historically I used this stuff, Meguiar's plastics, but this is too abrasive. It's too abrasive for this scale. It leaves scratch marks, so unless I wouldn't suggest you waste money on this if you're gonna like start restoring some of your vehicles. So what did work, or what is a finer compound, is this. It's called Tamiya polishing compound. And they have a fine finish, but this is called finish. So I think this is even finer than the fine finish. So sorry for the verbiage, but there's compound fine and there's compound finish. I think this is the more precise or smoother kind of rubbing compound. Much smoother than this, and much smoother than toothpaste, which I read about online as well. Toothpaste seems to be quite abrasive as well. So this, and a whole bunch of these Q-tips, you know, pointed Q-tips and then the round Q-tips, they allowed me to pretty much get all that fogginess out. I could have spent more time, you know, polishing it more and more, but it's good enough. So you can see a little bit of the fogginess in the corners. I'd probably have to go through like 50 of those fine pointed cotton swabs to get in there, so I got lazy. In fact, I actually seem to have swabbed some of the silver paint off, so I just went back with my good old silver Sharpie here, and I just covered up the paint. I even did it on the door handle as well. So that is that. Main things I learned, this is what you want to buy. It's like 10 bucks. It's expensive, but obviously you could probably restore 100 diecast cars with this stuff. So that and some Q-tips or cotton swabs. I also did notice after I took it apart, I put a flashlight next to these wheels, and you can actually see light between these spokes. So that would make this probably the most detailed wire mesh wheel. You can see a little bit there. I mean, it's not through all the spokes, but there actually is air passing through these wheels. So it's pretty amazing that Kyosho did this on this kind of car. So alright, so that is what I learned, and hopefully if if you're unfortunate enough to have some cars with a lot of foggy or scratched up windows or paint, then I suggest you buy that Tamiya stuff. You also, if you recall, this roof was really messed up as well, so I took that same Tamiya polishing compound with the Q-tips, or the cotton swabs, and I got most of that out as well, so I'm quite happy. Okay then, I guess we'll catch you around.